Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my soul food recipe. But let me start off by saying happy Sunday to you guys. Okay, I added 4 boxes of gypsy mix. And I have 3 eggs I'm going to be putting in my gypsy mix. Okay, I'm going to be using 2 cups of milk. As you guys can see, this is a big cup that I'm using. And as you guys can see, I'm giving my gypsy mix a good stir. And I'm going to be adding my gypsy mix to my butter pan. And I'm going to be adding my gypsy mix in the oven that's on 350. Now I have some cabbage that I'm adding to my pot. I already had some smoked turkey meat cooking for about 2 hours. And I have smoked turkey meat in this pot as well that I let cook for 2 hours. And I'm just adding lima beans to this pot. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a good stir. Now you want to make sure you add an extra cup of water and cook your beans on low because you don't want them to burn. And now I'm going to be adding some yellow and red bell peppers to my cabbage. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a good stir. And I'm going to be adding some onions and yellow and red peppers to my lima beans. And then I'm going to go ahead and stir my lima beans up. Okay, I added some onions to my cabbage. As you can see, my cabbage is starting to cook down. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a good stir, making sure all my vegetables and cabbage and meat is combined together. I got some adobo seasoning that I'm adding. And then I got some soul food seasoning. And some onion powder. And some black pepper. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a good stir, making sure all my seasoning is combined together. And then I have some garlic powder. And I have some thyme seasoning. And I added a tablespoon of thyme seasoning. And I got some Creole seasoning I'm going to be adding. And then I'm going to give it another stir. I got it smelling good in here. Okay, here's my cabbage. And I'm going to be adding some black peppers to my cabbage. And I'm going to be adding some Creole seasoning. And I got some onion powder I'm going to be using. And then I got some garlic powder I'm going to be using. And then I'm going to be using some adobo seasoning. I use my adobo seasoning for every meal that I cook. This is some good seasoning. And I'm going to go ahead and give my cabbage a good stir. Combine all my seasoning into it. As you can see, my cabbage is starting to boil down. They almost ready. And I'm adding just a little paprika. This brings out the flavor. Okay, y'all, our cornbread is ready. Like I said, I let my cornbread cooked on 350. And I added 2 tablespoons of butter to my pan before I added my gypsy mix into my pan. As Okay, y'all, I got my Saison. I got 2 packs I'm going to be adding. If y'all remember, I used it in my last video. And I'm going to be using a little red crushed pepper to get a little kick to it. Now I got my pan and I'm going to be transferring my cabbage to my pan. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a little stir. And then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and just put it to the side. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera towards my lima beans. Remember, we don't have nothing to worry about because we had our eye down on low. And I'm giving it a good stir. Now I got my chicken here. I added some soul food seasoning, some garlic powder, some Creole seasoning, some black pepper, and some Saison. I added 2 packs of Saison. And then I'm going to add some onion seasoning. And then I'm adding some parsley seasoning. Now I'm going to go ahead and work my fingers through my meat, making sure my meat get all the seasoning. And then I'm going to be adding another pack of Saison and just a little bit more soul food seasoning. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more black pepper. And then I'm going to place my meat in the oven, letting it cook on 350. Okay, I got my candy yams here, my favorite. I'm going to be adding water. And I'm going to be adding a cup of brown sugar. And then I'm going to be adding a half a cup of white sugar. And remember, just add a half a cup of water. And I got some cinnamon seasoning that I'm putting in my candy yams. And you could put a tablespoon and a half of vanilla extract. And then I got some cinnamon sugar I'm going to be using. And then I got some lemon juice I'm going to be using. I'm only going to be using just a tablespoon. And I'm putting my lid on my pot just halfway because I don't want my candy yams turning into smashed potatoes. And then I'm going to be adding just another half of brown sugar to my candy. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give it a little stir. Then I'm going to let them cook down. Now my chicken is done cooking. I let my chicken cook for about 3 hours. And I got 2 packs of chicken gravy that I'm using. And I got a box of chicken broth that I'm going to be using. Now you can add as much chicken broth you want to add into your chicken. And I'm going to give it a good mixture. And as y'all can see, I'm moving the pan back and forth to make sure all the seasoning is combined together. And then I got some chicken bouillon flavor that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons. Y'all, look at my candy yams. They simmered down. They ready now. I let them cook about 20 to 30 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my pan a little shake again. Front and back. So my chicken is done. I'm just going to wrap it up. Now this pot I got here, I'm going to be making cheese for my macaroni that I already prepared. So I'm going to be turning my eye down low. I added a spoon of butter. And then I'm going to let it melt. And then I added 2 tablespoons of flour in my pot. And then I'm adding some milk, a half a pot of milk. Now, I'm supposed to stir my flour and butter and then add in my milk. But it's okay because it's still going to turn out the same. Now, I just add some Monterey Jack cheese. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a stir this time. And then I'm going to be adding some white cheddar cheese. Now, you could choose whatever cheese you like to make your baked macaroni and cheese. But this the cheese I chose. And I cut up some Velveeta cheese that I'm going to be adding to my pot. Then I'm going to go ahead and give it a good stir. And then I'm going to be adding some black pepper to my cheese. And then I got some accent I'm going to be adding to my cheese. And then I got some salt I'm going to be using, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and whisk it, give it a good whisk. And this is how the Monterey Jack package look. And then I got some mild cheddar cheese I'm going to be adding to my pot. And then give it a good stir. Okay, YouTube, here's my macaroni that I already made. And then I'm just pouring my cheese into my pan. Now I'm going to be using a whole pot of cheese that I made. And then I'm going to be adding some more accent, some black pepper. And then I'm going to be adding just a little paprika to give it a little flavor. Now I'm using 2 packs of cheese that I took out the macaroni box that they came in. And then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. And then just a little bit more salt. And then a little bit more black pepper. Okay, I'm done with my macaroni. And I got some mild cheddar cheese that I'm going to be adding to my Monterey Jack cheese and my white cheddar cheese that I already combined together. Now, you can add whatever type of cheese that you like on your baked macaroni and cheese. Now, I placed my macaroni in the oven on 350 with the foil on it. And then I'm going to remove the foil and let it cook for additionally 30 minutes. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And please leave a comment down below to tell me how you make your soul food recipe. And you guys have a blessed Sunday.